नमस्ते, सुस्वागतम एंड आपका आज का ये कार्यक्रम में सबका स्वागत है. Today we will be having a very interesting discussion on DMK's Hindu hate agenda and the way out. And for the next 45 minutes to 1 hour, Dr. Subramanian, Swamy and our panel of members will be discussing this very important issue which is evolved in Tamil Nadu. And with this, I welcome all our viewers across the globe to this important discussion. Over to Dr. Swamy to initiate the discussion on the DMK's Hindu hate agenda, a way out. हम आज के कार्यक्रम में हिंदी, अंग्रेजी और तमिल में भी चर्चा करेंगे. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Jagdish. I think we are now in a new stage of dealing with the DMK. Originally, they wanted secession. Then, after 1962, they gave that up. Then they spoke about their independent state. That also they gave up. They came to power essentially, by the way, with the help of a very well-known Brahmin, that is C. Rajagopalacharya. And had not Rajagopalacharya stood in public meetings and take his punal, that is the Geneo, out and swear that I will see that the DMK will not trouble the Brahmins, and please vote for him. And the Brahmins voted for the DMK in 1967, somewhere around 85%. They left the Congress, which were their party. Most people of the Brahmin community were with the Congress. But they left and voted for DMK, and the DMK came for the first time in 1967. After that, this process began to get into this anti-Brahmin thing because they felt the Brahmins had taken over all the jobs and so on. And so in order for their cadres to get into these places, created problems. There has been consequences of that. Let me say, this is not coming in the newspapers. There are a large number of Brahmins, well-occupied, well-educated, have started leaving for the United States, for example, or Britain and other places. And Tamil Nadu has been affected by that. And this has been remarked also at a number of places in Vice Chancellor meetings and so on. So I will say that to begin with, that the DMK would not have ever come to power, but for the fact that a person of the eminence of Rajagopalacharya had not supported them. And at that time, in fact, even E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar went and met Rajagopalacharya, and some people say he touched his feet. That's not extraordinary, because in 1947, the E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar went to the governor's palace, where the British, whatever he was called, Viceroy, Governor General, he touched his feet and said, you can leave India in every other part, but don't please leave Tamil Nadu, or what was called as Madras those days. And so the history is something that they ought to be ashamed, and they should have used it to rise to a modern party and taken all people together. By the way, I want to tell you that it's not only the Brahmins who are being targeted, or that everybody else is against the Brahmins in Tamil Nadu. For instance, the Tevar community is a very powerful community, very large ones, especially in southern state districts of Tamil Nadu. They are totally supportive of, I think they work with the Brahmins, and Mudramalinga Tevar, whose statue I installed in the Parliament House, which all other Tamil leaders were unable to do, and finally I was requested by the community to set it up, and I did in 2001. I did put up Mudramalinga Tevar's statue there. Now, when I was running a campaign against Jayalalitha's corruption, of course, Karunanidhi enjoyed it most, invited me for lunch and so on. But the day the elections were declared and it was clear that Jayalalitha was not going to win, Karunanidhi didn't recognize who I was. I mean, that was the kind of uh, behavior that they have been through throughout. I'm not bothered about that. That's a political matter. But what I want to start by telling you is that in this present development, uh, what is the meaning of now expanding from Brahmin hatred to Sanatana Dharma? Sanatana Dharma, first of all, most of them haven't read it. They don't even know what it is, what it says. And Sanatana Dharma is a it's perhaps the most ancient part of our Hindu religion. So therefore to bring it and then have a seminar which all illiterates say all kinds of horrible things. Someone says that they are like mosquitoes, someone says it's like a city sewer, all kinds of things and I think it is shocking that in a state which is supposed to be ruled by the constitution should be doing this. And it was very sad that hardly anybody was ready to stand up, even on the non-DMK sectors. What happened to all these intellectuals who claim to be Brahmins and strut about that way? And then now I don't even see their name. I am told they run away from Chennai. And what about all these various other people who run companies and so on? Why don't they take a stand? So it's the part of the DMK atrocity is due to the older generation. I find that the younger generation now of particularly the Brahmin community and other communities were affected by the DMK. There is a movement. The people are willing to stand up. They're informing me also through emails and so on that they would like to participate in any program that I come to hold in Tamil Nadu. So I begin with this issue that this is a Hindu hate agenda. It's no more a Brahmin hate agenda. So what they are trying to do is essentially get the Muslims and the Christians to get a little more bold in grabbing the power in the state, and so that they can run the state without any opposition. I think this is the crazy idea that they have. Now, let me say that the son of Stalin, Udayagiri or whatever his name is, first name Stalin Jr. as I would call him, he's a Christian. His wife is a Christian, and they are practicing Christians. They go to churches and things like that. Now, for them to attack us, I would say that the Christian community should wonder that if there's a retaliation, there will be in a very bad state, and that's why we find today, even in Uttar Pradesh and other places, people are demonstrating. Of course, they are demonstrating peacefully, but they are demonstrating, and they don't know that most of the people who are now coming in these platforms are Christians. There are not many Muslims who are openly coming. Muslims have their own organizations, and those which are extremists are very few and small in number. But I would say that the Christian community has become very bold, having got the DMK on its side. So this is a factor which we have to take care. Now, the point that I would like to make before we start a discussion is that how do you respond to this? And the response is, in my opinion, there are laws. The hate laws are very clear, and they are applied to many of us in the North India. Of course, it is they misapply, and therefore they don't succeed in courts. But the fact is that these can apply easily in a big way in Tamil Nadu. And I would think that with this kind of mentality, considering that except the one I liberated, the Savanagara temple, all other temples are in the control of the government, and they loot that. They take away all the gold and jewels and everything that has been accumulated over centuries, and yet they want to say that, and they appoint the pujaris also. I think we are dealing with a situation not only that Sanatana Dharma was sullied, we are dealing with a situation where a whole social retrogression is taking place. And that social retrogression does, in fact, now imply that Hinduism is under threat. And so the whole country should be should perceive this. And I would think that if this is not brought under control, then you should do what when Chandrasekhar was Prime Minister, I did, which is that when they were going on consorting with those people who are anti-Indian, the LTT, I myself came down to Madras and I spoke to Karunanidhi and said that, this is not acceptable to us. And if you continue it, we will dismiss the government. And he told me in Tamil, Ratatura R Orum. I said, we will see that. And in fact, in the end, there was not even a cycle which was burnt. And elections were held subsequently. And out of 234 seats in Tamil Nadu Assembly, DMK got only two seats. I mean, it's unbelievable. People won't believe it today when I tell them, but you please go and check. That election was held after the dismissal of the DMK government. And it was, and the elections were held as is required under the constitution. And they got only two seats. So all these people who are speaking are because they think that there won't be a retaliation. They think that there will be no. The center should take a more now active stand and start saying that don't invoke us to use the Article 356 against you and dismiss your government. We are not a federal country. Our constitution is not a federal constitution. The word federal doesn't come anywhere there or in the Constituent Assembly debates. We are a union of states in which the center has a special duty which is not there in any federal constitution anywhere in the world, and that is to dismiss a state government. So therefore, we are in a position to do it. Of course, there's a procedure for dismissal. We can't just dismiss it for the whim of wanting to dismiss them, but you have to prepare the ground. When you can show that the state is not functioning in accordance with the Constitution of India, the center has a right, with the signature of the president, to dismiss the government. And there many governments have been dismissed. And as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, in 1976, also Mrs. Gandhi dismissed the DMK government. And then in 1991, Chandrasekhar's government also dismissed Karunanidhi's government. So I would say, therefore, we need to have rallies in Tamil Nadu. And people do come in large numbers. I addressed one for the Brahmins because a lovely book was written about the Brahmin genocide. And it was jam-packed. People came on a very short notice, and it was a very big hall in Mylapore. It was jam-packed. And I would say that we should invite other communities, as we did in the Mylapore public meeting, where we invited a Tevar scholar. And so there are other communities which don't like the communities which constitute the DMK. We can't go by the ADMK, because the ADMK, after Jayalalitha's departure, is a pussycat party. And so they are not going to take a stand. They'll just hang around. The center also must take a stand. And I think if these people in Tamil Nadu who are saying, making noises and giving press releases, they should come to Delhi and meet the Prime Minister and tell him and Mr. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, and tell him that this has become unbearable. Please consider dismissing the government and having president rule for some time. And the government may not do it, but at least you have asked for it. That itself will be very big news. And I would like to conclude this at this stage, and then have an interaction. First of all, let's understand one thing. Sanatana Dharma, they say, is a caste organization. What is this caste? First of all, we have, let's be very clear, we have Varna and we have Jati. And Jati is only for things like weddings and so on and so forth, that you should, it's really to prevent people of the same blood group to get married. For instance, there were pharaohs in Egypt. Brothers and sisters married each other because they didn't want the wealth of the kingdom to go to anybody else. But what came out of it? Mongoloid idiots were born and so on, and finally the pharaoh, entire pharaoh's
Yes.
community disappeared. So this to prevent that, the concept of Jati was brought in, that you can marry so and so and all. Now, of course, with the DNA testing, it's become much even better and easier to do so. So that Jati has got nothing to do with caste, you see, and to say caste. This is a Portuguese word which they use. They used to say costos, and it became caste. Now, Varna is, according to Lord Krishna in our Gita, he says they are out of gunas. They are not out of birth. Yes, there's no bar for a Brahmin to have a Brahmin son, provided he follows the rigors of the Varna. For instance, the Brahmin is supposed to be Jnani, Tyagi, and Sahasi. Sahasi means, this is there in the Gita. Jnani means, of course, well-read and teacher and that sort of thing. And Tyagi means he should have a very simple life. And you can see Brahmins in the old days were leading a very, very simple life. Even for their own food, they had to go and beg. Of course, it was not treated as begging, but some privilege of households to give them rice and buttermilk and so on and so forth. So that is there in the Gita, that it's not birth. And there are examples of it. For example, take the case of Vishwamitra. He was born in a Kshatriya family, and his father and mother were Kshatriyas. And but he became a Maharishi. Vedavyasa, for instance, a fisherwoman. Valmiki was what was those days microscopic community called the scheduled caste, what we call today as scheduled caste. And father and mother were scheduled caste, but he became Maharishi. He wrote the Ramayana. So Varna was never based. It was not against family people succeeding in the family through the family, but it was something that got to do with the gunas. The gunas being Jnani, Tyagi, and Sahasi. A cowardly person cannot be a Brahmin according to our own scriptures. So similarly, Kshatriya is one who goes to war and defends the country. Vaishya is the person who produces wealth through marketing, and then Shudra is the person who works, and particularly in the agricultural area. So these are all based on that, and it was not, and somehow it got rigid. Perhaps maybe due to the Islamic invasion, people began to get secretive, and therefore caste became a tool for that. So I would like to say there's no such thing as a born Brahmin who's working in Bata Shoe Company or is fishing in the off the Bay of Bengal or something. The Brahmins is decided by the. But I would say, why have it at all? Just treat yourself as a Hindu, and I thank in one sense I thank the DMK for now going up from Brahmins to Hindus. And that's a huge formation that will take place, and these people will be crushed. So with this, I would say, let us not be defensive anymore. And as far as mobilizing the whole of India, I plan to do that, and see that people in Tamil Nadu know that the Hindus, self-respecting Hindus of Tamil Nadu, are not alone, and the whole of the country is with them. Over to you, Jagdish.
Thank you, Dr. Swamy. You have written a letter to the governor of Tamil Nadu. So, can you walk us through the process as to how to bring Udayanidhi Stalin to justice?
Yeah. Well, you see, the route I took is in the IPC, where it says that if you section 295, that if you find, which says simply this, that if a group of people think that you have defamed their religion, then that person should be a group of people. There's no such thing as majority, minority, nothing. If a group of people, you should read 295, Article 2, Section 295 of the IPC. If a group of people decide to prosecute them because their beliefs were sullied by words or action, then they can go to court and do it. But there is a block in, as far as the minister is concerned, that I have to take a sanction to prosecute. But then there is a equally good loophole, which came out of a case of Subramanian Swamy versus Dr. Manmohan Singh. When the 2G matter was going on, the question of getting a sanction to prosecute A Raja. The block came that he was a minister of the UPA. So I applied for sanction. And although Manmohan Singh is my dear friend from about 40, 50 years ago, but he was not a person who could act independently as a prime minister, and no action was taken. So I went back to Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court then said, if in 3 months he does not decide, or some such number, then you can assume that a sanction has been given. So I'm waiting for 3 months to be over. And at the moment, I've sent it to the governor, and I expect the governor will forward it to the chief secretary, and I should get an answer very soon. Even if they say no sanction is not given, even then I can go to court and say the sanction is faulty. And so there's no difficulty in sending him, but I find that he stuck his tail. Stalin Jr. has stuck his tail, and he's become very silent, and handed over the baton, so to speak, to A Raja, who is now quite familiar with going to jail. So his going to jail is no big deal. So that's what it is about. It's purely taking the sections of the IPC and pointing out that I'm required to do this, and therefore I'm doing it. I've written it, and I'm hoping that the answer will come. I don't care what the answer is. If the answer says yes, go ahead, then I'll move immediately to the court. And if it says no, then I will have to challenge that, plus file a thing. So I don't think there's any escape for it. Perhaps if he makes a public apology, saying I'll never say it again, and say it with his hand on his heart and Jesus on his lips, I will not believe him. So this is the position.
டாக்டர் சுவாமி, ஃபார் த பெனிஃபிட் ஆஃப் தமிழர்ஸ் ஒரு கேள்வி தமிழில் கேட்குறேன் டாக்டர் சுவாமி. இந்த சர்ச்சையை இந்த உதயநிதி ஸ்டாலின் அவர் என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காருன்னா, சனாதன தர்மத்தை எதிர்க்க கூடாது, ஒழிக்கணும், அடியோடு வேரோடு அழிக்கணும். அதுதான் அந்த ஜெனோசைடுங்கிறத வந்து அவர் வந்து இப்படி கேட்டுறாரு. நீங்க எப்படி பார்க்க சட்ட ரீதியா அவர் சொன்னது வந்து அவர் ஒரு மினிஸ்டர், ஒரு பதவியில இருக்கார். ஸோ இந்த 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 பாயிண்ட் எல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது இமீடியட்டா ஒரு ஒரு சிஎம் பையன்னு பார்க்காம முதல்ல அவரை வந்து வேலை எடுக்கணும் அவரோட போஸ்ட்ல இல்லையா? லீகலா நீங்க இதை எப்படி டேக்கிள் பண்ணலாம்? இதை சொல்லுங்க. தமிழ்நாட்டுல இருக்கிற மக்களுக்கு புரியும்.
சரி, நம்ம நம்ம யார் வெளியில இருக்கோமோ, ஆட்சியில் இல்லையோ, டெல்லியோட ஆட்சியிலையும் இல்லை, தமிழ்நாடோட ஆட்சியிலையும் இல்லை, நம்மளுக்கு வந்து சட்டம் படி தான் போகணும். சட்டத்துல வந்து தெளிவா இருக்கு, இதெல்லாம் பண்ணணும், அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் நடக்கும்னு. அதனால ஏன் கவலைப்படணும்? நாங்கள் போகிறோம், இதுமாரி கேஸ் போட போகிறோம், அப்புறம் அதுக்கப்புறம் ஸ்டாலின் ஜூனியர் வந்து வாய் திறக்கலையே. வேற எல்லாரும் பண்ணுறார்கள், சில பேர் பண்ணுறார்கள். ஆனால் இப்போ வந்து எந்த வேகமாக வந்து முதல்ல பண்ணியிருந்தாலோ, இது சனாதன தர்ம ஒழிக்கணும், இது பண்ணோம், அது பண்ணோம், அது வந்து பூச்சி, அது இது எல்லாம் கேவலமாக பேசினது, அதெல்லாம் யாருமே இப்போ பேசுறதில்ல. இருக்கலாம், வந்து ரூமுக்குள்ளே உட்காந்துன்னு பேசுகிறார்கள். ஆனால் நம்மளுக்கு அதை பற்றி கவலை இல்லை. பொதுவாக பேசுறது தவறு. அது 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 அந்த காரணத்துக்காக தான் நாங்கள் வந்து சட்டம் படி இதை பண்ணுறோம். அண்ட் இது வந்து என்னுடைய வேற கேசஸ் எல்லாரும் இது மாதிரி தான் நடந்தது. இது நேஷ்னல் ஹெரல்டு, அதுவும் இப்போ நாளைக்கு நேஷ்னல் ஹெரல்டு டெல்லி ஹைகோர்ட்டில் திருப்பி வருது. அதே மாதிரி நம்ம 2Gலையும் பண்ணோம், அதுலேயும் வந்து 2-3 வருஷம் ஆச்சு. அதே மாதிரி இதுலேயும் கொஞ்சம் இனி ஒரு 2-3 மாதம் நடக்கட்டும், இன்னொரு 1 வருஷம் நடக்கட்டும், ஆனால் நாங்கள் கொடுப்பது இல்லை.
டாக்டர் சுவாமி, இன்னும் ஒரே ஒரு விஷயம். இந்த திராவிட கட்சி இந்த ஹிந்து ஹேட்டுங்கிறதோட இப்ப அவ வந்து என்ன பண்ணிட்டான்னா, சனாதனங்கிற கொண்டுட்டு அந்த பிராமின் ஹேட்டை இப்ப மாத்திட்டா. அவளுக்கு வந்து பிராமின் ஹேட்டுங்கிறது, பிராமின் பாப்புலேஷன் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் less than 2%, ஒரு 2% கீழே தான் இருக்கு. ஸோ இது வந்து பொதுவா எடுத்து இதை பிரிக்க பாக்குறா நம்ம. ஆனா நீங்க திராவிட கட்சிக்கு அவ எங்க இருக்கா? நீங்க அவரோட DKவோட ஆபீஸ டெல்லியில உடைச்சு எரிஞ்சல். இது எப்ப என்ன நடந்தது டாக்டர் சுவாமி?
அது 2001ல சோனியா காந்தியோட அனுமதியோட டிகேக்கு ஒரு பிளாட் ஆஃப் லேண்ட் அலாட் பண்ணா டெல்லி ஏர்போர்ட் பக்கத்தில். அது அலாட்மெண்ட் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் ஒரு பில்டிங் வந்தது. அது பெருசாக 6 ஸ்டோரிஸோ 5 ஸ்டோரிஸ் பில்டிங், அழகான பில்டிங். அதில் வந்து ஐபி ரிப்போர்ட்ஸ், போலீஸ் ரிப்போர்ட் எல்லாம் என்கிட்ட என்ன கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா வந்து இதில் எல்டிடிக்காகவும் வெளிநாட்டிலேருந்து ஏர்போர்ட்டில் வந்து அந்த ஏர்போர்ட்லேருந்து இங்கே தங்கிட்டு ஒரு 2 நாள் 3 நாள், அதுக்கப்புறம் வேறு இடத்துக்கு இந்தியாவில் எங்கேயாவது போகிறதுக்கு ஏற்பாடு செய்கிறார்கள். அது அந்த இது வந்து எதுக்காக அந்த இடம் கொடுத்தாரோ அது மீறி இவன் வந்து ஒரு எல்டிடியோட ஹெட் குவார்ட்டர்ஸ் மாதிரி பண்ணுவதற்காக திராவிட கழகம் எல்டிடிக்கு கொடுத்தார்கள். அப்போ வந்து சோனியா காந்தி சொல்றதுக்கு ஒன்றும் வாய்ப்பில்லை. அப்போ கேட்கணும் மாட்டா. அவருக்கு சோனியா காந்தியும் விடுதலை புலிகளுக்கும் ஒரு உறவு இருக்கு. இந்த நளினியோட மகளுக்கு வந்து படிப்புக்கா லண்டன்லாம் செலவுலாம் எல்லாம் சோனியா காந்தி தான் கொடுத்துருக்கா. அதனால அவளை தூக்கு தண்டனை கொடுக்கக்கூடாது, இதெல்லாம் எல்லாம் சோனியா காந்தி தான் பண்ணியிருக்கா. ஸோ அதனால டெல்லியோட கவர்மெண்ட் இருந்தது, டெல்லி ஸ்டேட்டோட கவர்மெண்ட்.
ஓகே.
அதில் லெஃப்டினன்ட் ஜெனரல் கவர்னர் இருந்தார், வெரி ஃபைன் பர்சன். அவரோட சீஃப் செக்ரட்டரி வாஸ் எ லேடி, அனதர் ஃபைன் பர்சன். அவர் சொன்னால் வந்து எங்களுக்கு 1 வாரம் கொடுங்கோ, இதை பற்றி எங்கேயும் பேசாதுங்கன்னு. நான் சொன்னேன் கட்டாயமாக 1 வாரத்துக்குள்ளே அவள் எல்லாத்தையும் ஏற்பாடு பண்ணி ஒரு நாள் காலை 6 மணிக்கு ஆர்டிஎக்ஸை வச்சு அந்த என்டையர் பில்டிங்கை உடைச்சிட்டான்.
So
ரொம்ப
basically, Dr.
கடினம்.
Swamy, mhm.
ஆ?
these
ஆ,
guys,
இவ-
basically the DK parties are only in a lot of the cases they throw a lot of words, but when they are challenged legally, when they are challenged with the force, they become pussycats. It has happened
no,
in
this
multiple occasions.
whole building blew up. Not a word from
A protest.
DK. Not a
Okay.
word of protest.
अरविंद जी, आप सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं?
या धन्यवाद धन्यवाद डॉक्टर स्वामी, आपने
जी।
पूरे जो इस मसला है इसको पूरे पूरे सही परिप्रेक्ष्य में प्रस्तुत किया है। और मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि पूरे उत्तर भारत का समुदाय भी इस राजनीतिक विद्वेष की जो घटना हुई है उससे बहुत दुखी है और चिंतित है कि सरकार इस पर कोई कदम क्यों नहीं उठा रही। आपने आगे आकर राज्यपाल को पत्र लिखा और उनसे अनुमति मांगी कि उनके ऊपर मुकदमा चलाया जाए और आपको अनुमति दी जाए, लेकिन बीजेपी की केंद्र सरकार ने अभी तक कोई ऐसा कदम नहीं उठाया है जिससे पता लगे कि बीजेपी की सरकार इस कदम के विरुद्ध है। भाषण देना अलग बात है, हमारे गृह मंत्री जी ने भी तमाम भाषण दिए और उन्होंने क्या किया कि उन्होंने डीएमके को इंडिया से जोड़ दिया और इंडिया के ऊपर अटैक कर दिया। इंडिया का मतलब इंडिया गठबंधन की बात मैं कर रहा हूं। तो वो अपने राजनीतिक स्वार्थ के लिए जरूर इसका इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, लेकिन इस बात के मूल रूप में नहीं जा रहे कि द्रविड़ पार्टियों को हिंदुओं से घृणा क्यों है। आपने बताया कि उन्होंने ब्राह्मणों से शुरू किया, हिंदू समुदाय को शुरू किया। मैं डीएमके की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं। आपको याद होगा कि जब अन्ना डीएमके की सरकार थी, जयललिता मुख्यमंत्री थी, उस समय उन्होंने शंकराचार्य की दिवाली की रात को गिरफ्तारी की थी और एक हत्या के मामले से संबंधित गिरफ्तारी की थी और इसको भी एक तरह से हिंदू समुदाय के ऊपर प्रताड़ना के रूप में देखा गया था। तो मैं समझता हूं ये द्रविड़ दर्शन जो ईवीआर रामास्वामी नायकर से शुरू हुआ, ये हिंदू के प्रति, सनातन धर्मियों के प्रति घृणा का भाव रखता है और जब तक इसको रोका नहीं जाएगा। आप उदयनिधि स्टालिन की बात, जब उदयनिधि स्टालिन के भाषण की बात आई, आपने राजा का जिक्र किया। राजा ने तो कहा है कि सनातन धर्म एड्स की तरह है और उत्तर भारत के लोग अब डीएमके का मतलब भी दूसरा निकाल रहे हैं। उन्होंने भी विरोध के शुरू कहना शुरू कर दिया है कि डी का मतलब डेंगू, एम का मतलब मलेरिया और के का मतलब कोरोना। डीएमके पार्टी का मतलब ये डेंगू मलेरिया कोरोना हो गया है। तो ये घृणा का जो भाव है, इस घृणा को रोका जाना चाहिए और भारत सरकार को भी कोई न कोई एक पक्ष लेकर स्पष्ट रूप से मत देना चाहिए। गवर्नर को कम से कम ऐसा करना चाहिए था, एक रिपोर्ट मांगते सरकार से। गवर्नर अधिकृत है कि सरकार से रिपोर्ट मांगे कि ये घटना सही है कि गलत है, और यदि ये घटना सही है, यदि डीएमके सरकार कहती है कि हाँ ये हमने किया, हमारे मंत्री ने, खेल मंत्री ने किया है ये, तो उनके खिलाफ गवर्नर भी सुओ मोटो एक्शन ले सकता था। हमें कहा गया उच्च न्यायालय भी ऐसा कुछ करे, उच्चतम न्यायालय भी करेगा। अभी तक उच्चतम न्यायालय ने कुछ ऐसा नहीं किया। तो क्या आपको लगता है कि गवर्नर और उच्चतम न्यायालय और केंद्र सरकार तीनों इस प्रकार के मामले में अभी जो शांत रुख अपनाए हुए हैं, ये रुख हिंदू समाज के विरुद्ध है, सनातन धर्मियों के विरुद्ध है?
नहीं तो है, मैं तो कह रहा हूँ कि हमारी जो केंद्रीय सरकार है, मैं चंद्रशेखर का वो उदाहरण दिया था
जी।
उसने कुछ किया तो नहीं, उसने परंतु इतना किया, उसने मुझसे कहा कि तुम जानो, तुम जाकर करो। हाँ, उस समय राजीव गांधी का भी दबाव था, राजीव गांधी मेरे ऊपर उसकी बहुत विश्वास थी, तो इसीलिए चंद्रशेखर ने मेरा नाम, पर चंद्रशेखर ने किया ना, उन्होंने मैं ही करूँगा सब, ऐसा नहीं। दूसरा है कि अभी जो कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई है 20 देशों का, इसमें कई अतिथियों को बुलाया गया था। अब जो कांग्रेस का जो है कौन है वो जो लीडर ऑफ द ऑपोजिशन इन राज्यसभा, उसको नहीं भेजा कि तुमने ये किया, तुमने वो किया, इस कोई बहाना में उनको निमंत्रण नहीं भेजा, बट स्टालिन को भेजा। इस संदर्भ में स्टालिन को निमंत्रण भेजना था बहुत गलत था। तो मैं कहता हूं कि प्रधानमंत्री के बारे लोग अनेक बातें कहते हैं, तो मैं यहाँ दोहरा नहीं सकता, लेकिन ये जरूर कहता है, मैं कह सकता हूँ कि वो रामेश्वरम से चुनाव लड़ने चाहते हैं, वो वाराणसी से नहीं लड़ने चाहते हैं। ऐसी एक बड़ी अफवाह चल रही है दिल्ली में, हो सकता है उस कारण से है, या कहीं हमारी संख्या कम हो जाए तो डीएमके की साथ ले सकते हैं, जैसे वाजपेयी ने डीएमके को लेकर राम सेतु को ही तोड़ने के लिए तैयार हो गए थे। तो ये कारण हो सकती। मैं यही कह सकता हूँ कि मेरी जो रास्ता है वो लंबा है, वो टाइम लगेगी, परंतु जीतूंगा जरूर, और मैंने करके दिखाया। आस्ते आस्ते हो रहा है। कितने मंदिरों को मैंने छुड़वाया है, अभी दो को छुड़वाने वाला हूँ। और 2G में वो कैंसिल कर दिया, छोड़िए ये लोगों को अभी तक कोई जेल नहीं भेजा, परंतु जो करोड़ों करोड़ों रुपए के खर्च में बनाई गई थी, रिश्वत ली गई थी, उन लोगों को सबको जेल में समय लगाना पड़ा। चिदम्बरम को 106 दिन के लिए एयरसेल मैक्सिस में जेल में रहना पड़ा। तो ये पहले नहीं होता था, और बस लोग छिपाने के लिए कहते हैं ओ ये नहीं हुआ, वो नहीं हुआ। तो फिर आप करके दिखाओ, हमारी सरकार नहीं तैयार है तो हम तो कर सकते हैं, तो हम करेंगे। तो आज जो आप सवाल कर रहे हैं उसमें ये 5 मिनट में ठीक हो सकती है
जी।
सिर्फ सरकार कहें कि ये सब रोको, नहीं तो हम 356 लगा देंगे, बस आप देखिए नेक्स्ट डे सब बंद हो जाएंगे। मैं भी जब कुछ बोलता हूँ, ये लोग डीएम के लोग डर जाते हैं, तो लोग पूछते हैं आपसे क्या, तुम अकेला आदमी हो, तुमसे क्यों डरते हैं? वो जानते हैं, मैंने कहा वो जानते हैं कि मैं छोड़ूंगा नहीं, मैं जो सारी संविधान के अनुसार जो शक्ति है उसको उपयोग करके करूंगा। तो ये अभी तो मैं ये कहूँगा, ये लोगों में की जो चेतना है उसको जगाओ। ये सरकार क्यों नहीं कर रही है इसकी चिंता मत करो।
डॉक्टर स्वामी, ये सिर्फ तमिलनाडु की डीएमके की बात नहीं है, सरकार की निष्क्रियता इसमें भी देखने में आई है। पिछले लगभग कुछ महीनों से सनातन धर्म के ऊपर जो अटैक हो रहा है, सिर्फ डीएमके की बात नहीं है। उत्तर प्रदेश में समाजवादी पार्टी के नेता हैं स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य, उन्होंने रामचरितमानस को लेकर इतनी भद्दी भद्दी बातें कही हैं कि एक हिंदू का सर शर्म से झुक जाता है। बिहार के गृह मंत्री, बिहार के जो मंत्री हैं जनता दल सरकार में, उन्होंने रामचरितमानस पर बैन करने की बात की है। तो ये चर्चा में रहने के लिए, खबरों में रहने के लिए, टेलीविजन अखबारों में छपने के लिए इस प्रकार के जो उल जलूल हिंदू समाज के विरुद्ध बयान दिए जा रहे हैं, इन बयान पे भारत सरकार ने, केंद्र सरकार ने रोक लगाने के लिए कुछ भी नहीं किया। स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य जैसे लोगों को तो गिरफ्तार कर देना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये घृणा फैला रहे हैं, और वही ही स्थिति उदयनिधि स्टालिन की होनी चाहिए। लेकिन ये सिर्फ राजनीतिक फायदा उठाना चाहते हैं। शायद 2024 का इंतजार कर रहे हैं कि जब समय आएगा तो हम हिंदू वोटों का ध्रुवीकरण कर पाएंगे, सनातन धर्मियों का ध्रुवीकरण कर पाएंगे और अपना राजनीतिक लाभ ले पाएंगे। कहीं इनके मंशा में शक उत्पन्न होता है इनकी निष्क्रियता को लेकर।
आप अपने वेदना को प्रचार कर रहे हैं या बता रहे हैं। मैं कहता हूँ हम कुछ कर नहीं सकते सरकार से, सरकार नहीं चाहेगी तो हम क्या करेंगे? तो वैसे बैठना नहीं है, इधर उधर करेंगे, उससे धीरे धीरे कुछ हो सकती है। सरकार ने भ्रष्टाचार को हटाने के लिए कितना कहा था, बट कुछ किया नहीं। इसके माने कि हम छोड़ दें? ये हमारे आज़ादी के आंदोलन से ही आप एक इसमें से शिक्षा ले सकते हैं कि लोग कहते थे कभी नहीं आपको स्वाधीनता मिलेगी, पर लोग शुरू किया और धीरे धीरे घटनाएं ने बना दी। अब उत्तर प्रदेश में हम जा रहे हैं, आप भी आ रहे हैं 15 तारीख को कानपुर, तो वहाँ के अपने लोगों के साथ बैठकर देखेंगे। और वैसे जो चीफ मिनिस्टर हैं वो तो हमारी जान पहचान के हैं, यानी व्यक्तिगत, तो उनसे भी मैं बात करूंगा कि इनके बारे क्या किया। वैसे मैंने सुना है कि उसने चंद कार्य किया है, देखना है कि वो किस प्रकार है और फिर उसको आगे ले जाना है।
और आपने 2G का जिक्र किया, राजा का जिक्र किया। मोदी जी जब करुणानिधि जिंदा थे तो करुणानिधि के घर मिलने गए थे, और कनिमोड़ी और राजा के खिलाफ जो केस चल रहा था, और मोदी जी की करुणानिधि के घर पे जो मुलाकात थी उसके कुछ दिन बाद कोर्ट का फैसला आया। तो कहीं आपको ये तो नहीं लगता कि कोई राजनीतिक इस तरह की योजना है कि जैसे कि आपने संकेत दिया कि 2024 में भी यदि भारतीय जनता पार्टी का पूर्ण बहुमत नहीं आता है और उनको मदद की आवश्यकता पड़ती है, तो चाहे वो बीआरएस की मदद लें या जगन रेड्डी की मदद लें या पटनायक की मदद लें, साथ साथ डीएमके का भी एक तरह से सहारा, जैसे कहते हैं ना कि एक आखिरी सहारा अगर मिल जाए, तो ये योजना तो आपको नहीं लगती कहीं?
मैं नहीं जानता, परंतु आप जानते हैं कि मैंने सार्वजनिक कहा है कि 2 टर्म हो गए हैं नरेंद्र मोदी को, उसको छुट्टी करनी चाहिए। मैंने आरएसएस को भी कहा है कि उसको छुट्टी करनी चाहिए, नहीं तो जीतेंगे नहीं। अब विडम्बना ये है कि हम इसको चुनाव के पहले हटाएंगे और नहीं जीतते हैं तो लोग कहेंगे तुमने मोदी को हटाया इसीलिए हार गए। तो अब वो उसकी समाधान निकालने की ज़रूरत है। इन 2-3 महीने में तय हो जाएगा। मैं समझता हूँ कि कितनी भी नाच गाना आप दिखा दें, प्रधानमंत्री की पद तो इसमें निर्भर है कि आपने बेरोजगारी हटाई नहीं हटाई, जो मुद्रास्फीति है उसको काबू में लाए नहीं लाए, जो वायदा किया आपने कि हम $5 ट्रिलियन जीडीपी 2022 तक कर लेंगे, नहीं किया। आपने जो जीवन में जो इश्यू है, हाँ जरूर इधर उधर पॉकेट्स में कोई किसी को यानी बर्तन मिल गई या किसी को गैस मिल गई, इस प्रकार की खबर आते हैं, परंतु आम तौर पर एक सारे समुदाय ऊपर उठने की अभी तक कार्रवाई नहीं हुई है, जो नरसिम्हा राव ने करके दिखाया।
Jagdish ji, your question. Jagdish ji, unmute yourself, please. Unmute.
Dr. Swamy, my question is, the 2G accused people, especially Kanimori and Raja, were acquitted by Justice Saini's court 5 years ago. The CBI, which is under Modi, has filed an appeal, and it is 5 years. Very slowly this appeal is going on. Why? There are two factors to my question. One, an anti-social, anti-national party like DMK and its members are accused of corruption. And here was an excellent opportunity to see that the court's cases are expedited and conviction takes place. The same guy now is again talking rubbish, this A. Raja, and again Hindu religion, he is talking more violently or more in a different form than Stalin. So why is Modi silent on these corruption cases? Is it using as a leverage, as Arvind Chaturvedi says, to help them? Because if suppose somebody else would have gone and met Karunanidhi and his family for corruption, the whole world would have made a big hue and cry. But we have got photographs which is in the media with all these crooks. He's laughing away in Karunanidhi's house. So why is not such action being why is the Modi government lacking to take action against people who are against Hindu religion and are accused of corruption? Why is they not taking action?
Listen, I've already said that I don't think Modi is fit to be the prime minister of a BJP government in 2024. And these are all based on all this. So take, for example, Uttarakhand. You took over all the temples. Here we are all fighting to give relief to take the temples out of the clutches of the government, which is what the legal position is. And here order goes to the Uttarakhand, take it over. And when I file a petition, the special assistant to the chief minister says that if Swamy comes here and argues the matter, he will not go alive back to publicly. Of course, I am not scared because I've been through the emergency. I know all these people. And socially, as I told you, that Stalin was called to this G20 meeting. What for? Kharge is the congressman, because of something that he had done which they didn't like. He's the party president, and they did not invite him. So this kind of thing it shows is something that we can't rectify. What we have to do is create hope in the public that yes, there are people who will fight, and that this will grow in time. And you also, public also should know its duty, what to do when the next elections come.
Dr. Swamy, what can, this is a general question that's coming in spaces. What
Yes.
can the Hindus in Tamil Nadu, I think we should expand it. How do the Hindus react to this? One, as you said, you've taken legal route. But I think the other thing is not just posturing on Twitter. I think I think people need to come in the quote unquote to the streets, in the sense to show that this kind of hate speech against a large community, the majority community, people who follow a certain dharma, cannot be tolerated. What is your thought on that, Dr. Swamy?
Well, I think even if you come out on the streets, these people are so thick-skinned, it will have no effect,
Okay.
in my opinion. I did address a huge meeting in Mylapore the other day, but on the question of Brahmins and the genocide that is looming for them, and it was a huge turnout. But they did not. I've also been a member of parliament elected from Madurai, which even MGR could not get his people elected. In fact, Jayalalitha at that time told me, why you're selecting this place? Because nobody from ADMK or ADMK supported has won from there. But I did stand and I won. But then the very next time when the elections came, all kinds of dirty tricks were played, and I couldn't do anything about it because in Delhi, Mr. Vajpayee was not supportive. So it's no use asking why. Just do what you can. And somehow something clicks and something happens. I never thought that 2G will lead to this distance. Of course, there's been sabotage by one magistrate, and one day we'll catch him and fix him and send him to jail also. But the fact is that the people are ready, but they are like what happened in the emergency. Emergency, it was complete silence. And nobody thought that Indira Gandhi can be defeated in the polls. Indira Gandhi was not defeated in South India, which is an educated part of India. I mean, more educated part of India. But the wholly uneducated areas of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana, etc., wiped out Mrs. Gandhi completely, including defeated her in Raebareli with her son. So the Indian people are capable of a lot of magic. It's only a question of opportunity, and that opportunity will come. So at this stage, rather than expecting the government, which is not in a mood to do anything about it, I don't think if Modi was really concerned about corruption, he would not keep Adani on his side. And there's nothing much left to prove that Mr. Adani has committed an enormous amount of crimes. So go with that. We got rid of Congress, and now I think we have to redo the BJP. BJP is still by far relatively the most honest party. But the way it is going, if it continues, it won't survive. We have seen that in history all over in the world, where a party starts off being a hope of the public, and then in the ends up collapsing completely if it's not corrected by the people of that country.
Arvind ji, आपने एक मुद्दा था, कहते हैं कि मोदी जी सरकार क्या कर रहे हैं इसके ऊपर। मेरे ख्याल से अरविंद जी, जो मणिपुर में हुआ उसके बारे में वो कुछ नहीं किया। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला है कि सुओ मोटो से ये हम लोग वी विल हैव टू टेक सुओ मोटो एक्शन। मेरे ख्याल से अरविंद जी, इसके बारे में भी ये मोदी सरकार कुछ नहीं करेंगे,
हाँ,
क्योंकि
तो
ये
तो जगदीश का सवाल जो मेरा सब प्रश्न भी था, उसका संकेत बिल्कुल स्पष्ट है कि मोदी जी राजनीतिक खेल कर रहे हैं, इसीलिए डीएमके के प्रति उदार हैं वो। दूसरी तरफ वो राजनीतिक लाभ उठाना चाहते हैं,
अरविंद
इसलिए
जी,
वो DMK पर अटैक नहीं कर रहे, वो इंडिया गठबंधन पर अटैक कर रहे हैं।
everything is politically motivated for BJP, because at some point in time you should look for your people. Jagdish, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, my question was what Ramesh Swamy started in the initial stage. And you asked Dr. Swamy, what should the people of Tamil Nadu do in something in this? You had asked the question. I would say, Dr. Swamy, no, I'm saying I want to add actually, not the question to you. I want to add there is a new crop of the youngsters in Tamil Nadu. And as you know, when we go there, these youngsters are really nationalistic upbringing, and there's a new crop which has come up, and they are doing a wonderful job as far as nationalism is concerned. And this modern world with new methods of social media, YouTube and others, I'm sure they are doing a wonderful job, and they should continue to do it, because opportunities will come on our way to teach such anti-social elements like Stalin Jr. or Raja or others in the election to show their right place in history. And as Dr. Swamy said, in 1991, when DMK was dismissed, all these type of people were thrown in the dustbin of history. So the youth, the new generation of youth in Tamil Nadu is very nationalistic, and as majority are Hindus, they are bound to take whatever rubbish utterances are done by these leaders against the Hindu religion. They are bound to be reaction in the coming elections, irrespective of whatever is the deal happening between Delhi and Chennai. This is my gut feeling in response to Ramesh Swamy's question. Sorry, Dr. Swamy,
Thank
you
you.
wanted to add
Thank you,
something?
thank you.
I just would say this. If the youth of Tamil Nadu themselves come out, I'll praise them and support them. But if they come out on my assurance, then I have to look after them. And I don't think I'm in that position. So I would prefer a series of public meetings only on this issue. And we can't have BJP because they are totally become a Vyapari's party. But the RSS is very strong, and it has got people in every district. And if Mohan Bhagwat decides that when we make such an effort, he'll support us, then we'll have a major movement in Tamil Nadu.
अरविंद जी,
सर,
आप कंक्लूड कर
I want to
सकते हैं।
raise one more issue डीएमके के बारे में। आपको शायद याद होगा कि डीएमके ने एक मुद्दा उठाया था, राष्ट्रीय जो मेडिकल कॉलेजेस का एडमिशन है उसके लिए जो एंट्रेंस टेस्ट होता है नीट के खिलाफ। डीएमके led Tamil Nadu was the only one state, single state in entire India which does not want to subscribe to the NEET exam, and they say हमारा अलग से एग्जाम होना चाहिए। I mean, this is the tendency which DMK has, being a border state. They want to secede from India, or they are hinting towards that they want a different policy. How can they oppose central government policy which is implemented in all the 30 states? So that the BJP को
you want me to answer in Hindi or English?
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure.
English, doctor.
Hindi.
No,
Whatever,
English. You can answer.
So anyway, I'll speak in English then. The question is, the people of Tamil Nadu are the ones who suffer. When the Hindi teaching has been banned, and by Hindi I mean Sanskritized Hindi. The words have to come from Sanskrit. and the script has to be Devanagari. And Devanagari script is not very different from Tamil script. If you write ka, it's like writing in Devanagari. If you want to put ki, you just put a matra like in Tamil script as you would do it in a Devanagari script. If you want to ku, you put it under. It's the same thing, same way. So and then there are about 40% of the words in Sanskrit, in Tamil, which are of Sanskrit, and yet they say we are different people. The British have put all this gobar in their head that they are Aryan, there's a Aryan and there's a Dravidian. Where is it written, Aryans, Dravidians? Dravida is a word used by Adi Shankara first time when he said where three oceans meet. Perhaps the word was not Dravid but Travid, where it means the three coastlines meet. That was called the Dravid or Travid. So all this bakwas that has come is essentially because the British concentrated on Tamil Nadu as a colony that will stay with Tamil Nadu. But unfortunately, it didn't happen because people, and they were all Brahmins, whether it's Rajagopalacharya or many others, and people who were Hindu religious minded people like Muthuramangalinga Tevar. These are people who stood up against the British and made them go. And so I think it will happen. There will people stand up. The process of awareness has started with the young people of Tamil Nadu. And it's only a question of an opportunity. If I get another opportunity with the government, you know what I'll do in Tamil Nadu. I'll fix them all.
Arvindji, you can conclude. You're muted, Arvindji.
Arvind, you're muted.
Thank you, Dr. Swamy. This is an issue which has disturbed each and every Sanatana Dharma follower, and the inaction on the part of governor, inaction on the part of court, inaction on the part of central government has also disturbed them even more. Because being 80% of the population, if the small political parties for political reasons attack the religion and attack the basic religion, so to say that should be eradicated. And when you say eradicated, that means basically physically eliminated. I mean, this should be immediately taken note of, and there are many sections in the existing law where action should have been taken, but unfortunately, action has not been taken. And this is also unfortunate part of our Indian politics, Dr. Swamy, that we have to have regional parties which are parochial in nature, and these raise narrow parochial and narrow subjects such as this, attacking the entire Hindi-speaking states, attacking the entire religion with 80% population, and attacking Brahmins, especially making target. You have raised this issue. You have also approached the governor for the permission, and I'm sure once the time limit passes, you will take a decision about how to prosecute these kind of guilty people, Udaynidhi, Stalin, or maybe A. Raja or others of that ilk. And our Hindu community should also have patience and believe in action rather than counter-violent reaction. So thank you, Jagdish. Thank you, Ramesh Swamiji. Thanks our technical team led by Ashish Shetty, Gadgi Rakesh, Ishwar Iyer, Swaminathan, Tejas Navalgul, Vishal Mehta, Najesh Nair. Dr. Swamy has been raising this issue, these kind of issues, nationalistic issues, and VHS has been taking them through this platform, and we are getting huge support from the public. We continue to get this support, and we will continue to raise these issues. Next Sunday, again, we'll come up with such a national issues, and with Dr. Swamy as the key speaker, with others as supports. and the technical team. Thank you very much. Next Sunday we will be meeting again at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Till then, Namaskar, Jai Hind.
जय हिंद, धन्यवाद.